Hi, my name is DiRenzo. This is our third speech. This is my audience, my boyfriend Alex, and my sister Olivia. So, do you guys know what global warming is, or have you heard of it? Yeah?
Yeah, I heard of it.
So what does it mean? Do you know what it means?
Is it when the Earth warms up over time?
Mm-hmm. So global warming is the long-term heating of Earth's climate system. So NASA began recording these temperatures back in 1880, and since then the lands and oceans have become much warmer because the temperature has increased a lot. So between 1880 and 1980, that 100-year span, the temperature was increasing at a rate of 0.13 degrees Fahrenheit per decade. So since 1981, after that 100 years, the rate has increased to 0.32 degrees per decade. So since 2000, we've had 15 really hot years. 2016 was the hottest year, and 2019 wasn't too far behind it. So what causes global warming? Global warming is caused by human error. So it occurs when carbon dioxide and other pollutants and greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone, they collect in the atmosphere. So they absorb the sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off the Earth's surface, and they absorb it. So normally the radiation would bounce off the atmosphere and go into space, but the pollutants trap the heat and they reflect it back onto Earth, which causes the Earth to warm up. So in the United States, the biggest source of these pollutants comes from the burning of fossil fuels to make electricity. So the number one source is coal burning power plants, and the number two biggest polluter is the transportation sector. And the transportation sector generates almost 2 billion emissions of carbon dioxide a year. So while the average temperature of the globe is increasing, obviously there's going to be effects. So one of the effects is the ice is melting. So the ice sheets have been melting since the Ice Age, but since the temperature is warming up drastically, they're melting at a much higher rate. So global warming can also cause droughts. So dry areas in the world are expected to become much more dry. For example, places in the southwest and central plains of the United States, they're expected to experience decade-long droughts. So they'll be experiencing droughts for a long time. And there are other places that are expected to see less rainfall, which will obviously higher the risk of wildfires, and the ice melting and droughts can also cause water shortages. Some more impacts of global warming include extreme weather. So hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons are expected to get worse as the planet heats up. So this occurs because the hot oceans, they evaporate moisture, which will cause the storms to form. And the ocean will also be disrupted. So the ocean will absorb the carbon dioxide that's dissolved, and it'll harm the marine ecosystem. So when the carbon dioxide reacts with the ocean water, it makes the pH go up and it becomes more acidic, or it does something to the pH and it makes it become acidic, and which is called ocean acidification. So the acid eats away at the skeletons and shells that the marine animals need for survival, and it'll also cause bleaching of corals. So the corals will bleach when they're stressed, and high temperatures is one of their stressors, so they'll become bleached, which is also not good for the marine ecosystem. So how do we solve this issue? There are some solutions, but again, each solution starts with one of us. So we have to change the way we behave, and we have to shift the way we consume energy. So improvements to energy efficiency and vehicle fuel economy, increases in wind and solar power, making biofuels from organic waste, protecting forests, they can all help reduce the amount of carbon dioxide and other gases that'll trap inside the Earth's atmosphere. So they'll all reduce the numbers of those, so there's less melting or less warming of the earth. So other ways we can help is by educating others. So we can tell someone about it and they can change their ways. We can power the home with renewable energy like solar power, wind power, all that. We can weatherize our homes. So if there's a draft, we can close up the draft instead of turning up the heat or turning up the air. We can open windows, or we can just weatherize the house. We can reduce wastewater, which means not taking 30-minute long showers, turning off the sink when you're brushing your teeth, just things that will not lead to an excess amount of wastewater. We can reduce, we can buy better light bulbs. LED lights are better. They save less energy, they're more efficient. We can unplug used devices or items. So I know all of us in our houses, we have things that are plugged in that aren't even being used. So that can help save some energy. We can use fuel efficient cars. We can keep tires properly inflated, because when they're deflated a little bit, that can cause pollutants to enter the air. We can try to avoid driving a car if your destination is walkable, or we can try avoiding flights because a lot of the air pollutants come from planes. So that's another thing we can do. So now I have a video to show you guys. So I'm gonna put that on the screen. So it's basically just shows a whole video about global warming. It kind of touches on everything I talked about. So here it is. So that shows the planets. This is showing a drought. Everything is dying. Cutting down the trees. This shows the fish and the marine life. Pollutants entering water. Oh, this is the drought, sorry. This is the ice melting. They have nowhere else to go. So, in conclusion, global warming is a problem that has been rapidly increasing over the years. It's caused by humans and their actions, and it may release pollutants or greenhouse gases into the air. So things we do might affect our planet. These gases get trapped and cause our planet to get warm, which obviously has its consequences, as you heard in my speech and saw in the video. This issue has been around for some time, but it's time that we work together and try to solve it before it's too late, before all the animals die and they have nowhere else to go. But we need to work together and solve it so we can reduce the amount of pollutants entering the Earth's atmosphere. With effort around the world, we may be able to keep our Earth nice and clean. So do you guys have any questions for me?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, thank you for watching. And I'm done. Thank you.